Okay. Well, I wasn't nervous until I got up here, and I'm country as they come, so y'all just bear with me or whatever. So I got my little phone with my little notes, so we're going to be all right. I just moved schools recently this year, and I've taught math forever. I'm kind of like a bouncy ball. They just bounce me over here to this grade or bounce me over there to that, and I just do it and go on and smile, and we're all right with it every year. But this year I'm just third grade reading, which I'm very excited about because I'm not done reading in a couple years. I was the math teacher. But my goal every year is to be as innovative and as exciting as possible because, as we all know, we are sent with students who are different than any other learner. From years past, learning in the classroom is so different than the past 8 years that I have taught. My first year is completely different than what I'm teaching now. Before, I was just traditional desk, sitting, groups, everybody got a worksheet. Now I have flex seating in my classroom, and we're up moving all the time, and I try to kind of be the guide on the side instead of the sage on the stage kind of girl. So with that being said, my question or my problem of practice for this year is, what does being a 21st century teacher really mean? And more importantly, what does that mean for my students and how I can incorporate this technology within my classroom? So every day, as you all know, we don't necessarily have to be just teachers anymore. We kind of have to be an entertainer because when kids go home or they're with us, they're getting entertained by a device or a phone or a computer or each other. And I'm trying my best to be up there getting them to learn about what a character is and what that trait is for that person. So then what I decided to get this year, last year when I was at the Fire Summit, a presenter had a swivel camera. Do y'all know what that is? Okay. Before at my old school, we had a really bad problem with truancy, which every school in this region does. There's a lot of kids who miss every day, and oftentimes it's not our children's fault. They're not responsible, for getting themselves up and making sure they're at school on time. So what I am planning on doing with that part of it is trying to video my lessons at least 15 minutes a day just for that standard and putting it on a closed YouTube channel for my kids. So if they are absent, then if they don't have access to it at home, then they can come back at least during RTI time. They can come during special class time, and they can watch that lesson and still get caught up and not miss all that important content for that day. So that was one part of my grant. The other part is we got 3 echo dots. Now, when I was teaching math before, it was all about the numbers and, working the problems out. Now, every day, all I hear is, Miss Alicia, how do I spell? And Lord have mercy, y'all. I know y'all get tired of hearing that, too. So I said, what can I incorporate in this classroom that my kids can be their own, they can take responsibility for their own learning. So we got these little echo dots. So now instead of coming and asking me, they're like, Alexa, how do I spell? Or Alexa, read me this story. Or Alexa, what does this vocabulary word mean? So I'm over here working with my own group. My kids are over here in a center, and they can go get another resource. And even if my kids can't type, or if they can't Google, or if they can't search, they can ask Alexa a question they have, and they will find out without my assistance. So they're taking responsibility for their own learning. And it's been really good for my non-readers because even if they can't read Charlotte's Web that we're doing right now, Alexa, find me chapter 13 and read it to me. They're not missing out on what we're doing that day. The last thing we got with our grant was CPS clickers. And if you've not had them, they're a little bit old, but they are the bomb. Because, as y'all know, especially me, I'm 95% time a hot mess running in my room, literally. So when I get in there, I really don't know half the time what I'm going to be doing for that day. But if I want a quick formative, it's true. If I don't want a quick formative assessment and you don't want to have to predetermine 15 questions for them to use those little clickers, these are amazing because you can throw a reading comprehension passage up there. You just throw a verbal question up there, and you say, okay, guys, put it on your document camera, A, B, C, or D, and it gives you instant feedback about what you're going to do for that lesson. You can do it with Study Island. It goes with everything, anything that you want. And I actually contacted the company because I was about to stress out because they didn't make them anymore because, of course, they're wanting more money, so those went by the wayside. But here's a little secret. There's 1 million of them on Amazon that are refurbished, and ours work perfectly. And they're only about $100. So those are, CPS clicker pults. But that's what we're getting with our grant, and my kids have been really excited. We've not got everything incorporated. The echo dots have been the best little thing, and we just got our batteries for our clickers, so I'm hoping to get that rolling next week because every day they're looking at them. They look like little cell phone remotes, and so they're like, when are we going to use them? What's them for? Because it's something new. They've not seen them. And I put those in a center too, and you can just put something up there. So you got your kids over here doing their clickers. You got them over. I hope to let them make videos too, their own videos teaching each other. That's the main goal, is to let them do their own teaching. But that's kind of my grant. Hopefully by spring we'll have some of my babies up here and they can tell you all about what they did. But has anybody got any?